Hello, my name is Joyce Bowlesby, and I'm your sitting councilwoman from District 2. I've been a resident of Cecil County for 36 years and happily married to my husband, John. We're in our 50th year of marriage. We'll be celebrating 50 years on June 13th. I have 2 sons who live outside of the county, but not that far away, and 3 wonderful grandchildren. And I want to thank the Republican Club for the opportunity to share my views and positions tonight on the job that I intend to continue to do as your councilwoman. I have cited 4 major issues to address in my campaign that are critical to the future of Cecil County. I believe each is connected and that all are of equal importance. We need to create jobs by helping our local businesses grow. We must not only encourage new businesses to the county, but we must also work to help our existing businesses create more jobs and to focus on community revitalization. The comprehensive plan has outlined the growth corridor, and I believe we must aggressively work to make economic expansion here in the county a reality. We must accelerate progress in establishing infrastructure here, including water, sewer, gas, broadband, mass transit, roads, and bridges. We've made significant progress in repairing county roads and bridges, but we must continue to address critical issues related to state roads within the county, including but not limited to our 4 failing intersections. Water and sewer in our growth corridor, mainly along Route 40, has been on the drawing board for almost 50 years. I believe it is now time to seriously address the issue and to provide our citizens with a plan that's going to make this happen in the near future. We have a land preservation program to protect our forested and other sensitive areas, and we're continuing to protect and enhance our scenic views and historic areas. But we must increase our efforts to realize our potential and allow economic growth to occur. A sound infrastructure is the major component to make this happen. I promote education for our public schools because this is our children's future. If we are to grow our economic base, we need skilled workers to fill the jobs that are going to be created. The new School of Technology is a giant step forward in meeting this goal, as is our STEM program and the new engineering and math complex at Cecil College. Unless we all recognize the value of a sound education for our youth, educational opportunities for our citizens who may be changing careers, and programs for our very young and our older citizens to enhance their quality of life, I think we're missing the mark. We've all heard much about drug abuse and violent crime increase here in the county, and I believe the 2 go hand in hand. The drug problem didn't happen overnight, and it's not going to go away overnight. Our county executive is moving forward with several initiatives and several
Chris? Hi, I'm Chris Yalskis, running for County Council in District 2. Just a few things in my background. I'm founder of Cecil Citizens Against Taxation. It's a group that was involved in the budget for a long time. I've also been the vice president of the Young Republicans of Cecil County. I've also served on the the Ethics Advisory Committee for Cecil County. I'm the chair of the Republican Central Committee for Cecil County. And I've been involved in the budget since around 2008. The reason I'm running is because I think our spending is coming out of control. I think I have an equation that we can use to bring it back in and also grow jobs and bring the prosperity back to Cecil County. I'm also running to give us back our liberty and our property rights, which means I'm going to have to, as a councilman, stand up and suggest some things that probably not going to be very popular among some of our citizens and definitely among some of our state representatives. So that's basically why I'm running. I look forward to answering your questions this evening, and thank you for your attention.
Okay. There we go. Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Michael W. Dunn, candidate for County Council in District 3. And as I stated a few weeks ago in the Cecil League, I thought long and hard about seeking a second term, and I finally decided that I had an obligation and a responsibility to run, a duty to stand in the gap, to borrow a phrase. Overall, I've been a good steward of the taxpayers' dollars. I have supported and proposed tax and spending cuts. I have opposed new taxes and fees, and I voted against excessive and wasteful spending. Over the last 4 years, I've had a front row seat to the county budget process and have gained an insight which I think my opponents may lack. I've tried to be a voice of calm and reason on the council, an independent thinker who always voted my conscience, sometimes in the majority, sometimes in the minority. Over the last year, I think the county government has taken a turn for the worse, and the current administration is headed in the wrong direction with bloated budgets and $70 million bond bills. We need to end this return to business as usual in Elkton and put the county on a new path toward lower taxes and less government. Thank you.
Dan, please.
Hello, I'm Dan Schneckenberger, and I'm a resident of Fair Hill in District 3. I want to say thank you to the Republican Club of Cecil County for this opportunity to talk to you tonight. I'm married to Christine Tina Sharp, and we have a daughter, Anastasia, who will be 15 this year. I grew up in Delaware, graduated from the University of Delaware, and I relocated to Cecil County in 1989. I moved here mainly because of the natural beauty of the county, and I've always loved living here. I'm running for this office because I continue to believe that Cecil County has great potential, and I want to help realize this. I've long been involved in the Cecil County Chamber of Commerce, where I was on the board of directors for 6 years and president in 2006. I also served on the Water and Wastewater Task Force, which was county appointed in 2005, which we recommended infrastructure improvements and priorities, which are still not implemented to this day in many ways. I've also been involved in workforce training groups in several years, and I have a good understanding of the workforce needs and our current situation in Cecil County. I'm a fiscal conservative. I'm a big supporter of education and workforce training, and that my mindset is of consensus building and finding solutions. My main focus will build on my business experience to focus on job growth and to do this in our growth corridor in Cecil County. I believe we have a good comprehensive plan, and we've been frustrated in the slow implementation of infrastructure in this area. I will always look for ways for County Council to facilitate an environment to help companies located in Cecil County and grow and support existing employers, and I will use my knowledge of the region and adjoining areas to help promote the county. I view state government as not supportive of realizing Cecil County's potential. I look at Plan Maryland, adjusting for growth, stormwater taxes, taking our match of highway user fees, and the overall TMDL strategy for Chesapeake Bay is overreaching legislation that will stifle our job growth and hurt our ability to grow our local economy. I know our county delegation pretty well, and as an elected official, I believe I can help them and the county executive mitigate these damaging initiatives to our county. A unified, active approach is the only way we'll be able to move Cecil County forward. As I see it, here are some of the main issues confronting the county and my positions on. I will fight to minimize any state mandates that infringe on our constitutional rights or cost taxpayers any more money. As for the Cecil County budget, I will spend your tax dollars wisely and keep current property taxes at the current rate and look for opportunities to lower them. As for Cecil County Public School education, I support the Board of Education, and I will support their budget requests as long as they allow us to spend within our means. I especially support the vocational training as a way to train our emerging workforce for productive careers, including the new vocational school at the former DeSalle plant in Elkton. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Robert Willick. I am a master electrician who has operated my own business for 12 years. I've lived in Rising Sun for the last 17 years with my wife of 20 years and my 11-year-old son. I've been an unpaid political activist since 2008, when I was actually spurred into politics when I started learning about the Federal Reserve. Since that time, I've dedicated many hours of my life to reining in big government, fighting for Second Amendment rights, opposing Common Core, and educating others on how to be more effective activists. I'm definitely what you would call a newbie at this point in time. I have never run for any office before. This should be a new experience for me. I'm currently the Cecil County Campaign for Liberty coordinator, although I work with various other groups around the state, Liberty groups and Tea Party groups alike. And I'm running for county council because I believe that it is the next logical step and my commitment to reining in out-of-control government. Thank you.
Good evening. Registering at 18, I was proud to vote for Ronald Reagan. Even then, I knew I supported core Republican values of less government, less taxes, and more fiscal responsibility. I appreciated that Republicans supported incentivizing citizens to work and flourish. And while I support these values, the best compliment I've received is that I'm an advocate for the citizen, and that transcends party lines. After being elected, I discovered Cecil County's top priority to address its drug abuse because it affects so many other parts of our community, including crime, education, economic development, and ultimately the vitality of our county. I have discovered that the problem is much deeper than citizens realize, and it will need to be addressed in many areas, including all 3 levels of government. The pharmaceutical industry is the largest lobbyist by far in DC, and their influence on government is staggering. Even so, I have been proactive in looking for solutions. Addressing drug trafficking, I pursued the HIDE designation, advocating for stronger prescription drug monitoring programs, and effective reporting and conviction of pill mill doctors. To address treatment, we need real data to justify investment initiatives for treatment. For education, I have organized 10 drug awareness forums across the county. Currently, I am advocating for a more efficient and responsive drug and alcohol abuse council that allows the community to participate as was intended. Regarding fiscal responsibility, who has been more aggressive? The first year of my term, Cecil County adopted a tax rate below the constant yield. Also, I have objected to expensive, exorbitant projects we don't need. I opposed the $20 million more in expense than NDE required for Seneca Point treatment plant. Aggressively fought toll increases both times while other elected representatives thought we should negotiate road deals. Consistently objected to the taxpayers footing the bill for razor-strap road improvements of well over $5 million that developers should have funded. The old Elk Neck Bridge replacement, I supported, not the infrastructure overhaul. And who can forget the effort to change the county seal? I proposed an amendment to the Vassell purchase that the members of an LLC would have to be revealed when taxpayer dollars were being used to ensure no conflict of interest. I voted against the authorization to increase long-term debt by $70 million, which ultimately could increase our long-term debt to its highest level of over $210 million. By consuming our borrowing capacity today, we are more vulnerable to compromising our bond rating and borrowing power tomorrow. I have also been a strong advocate for increased transparency and ethics oversight. Transparency encourages elected officials to do the right thing, and video recorded meetings would get more responsive government for the majority of the people and not catering to special interests. But for now, I requested that all meetings be audio recorded to provide a permanent record which could not be altered. Currently, the charter allows for the most powerful person in the county to remove appointments at her discretion. Removing an ethics commission member without cause opens the door to undue.
So thank you. I am Michael Anthony Dawson. I was trying to think of a nickname, but apparently all the good ones have been taken. Anyhow, my wife and my 2 kids live in Perryville. We've been in Cecil County for approximately 8 years. 2010, I was elected by the citizens of Cecil County to be on the Republican Central Committee. 2011, I was elected by the people of Perryville to be a town commissioner. When I was a town commissioner, took every opportunity I could to expose the waste, fraud, and abuse in the county, in the town government. We also took every opportunity to educate the people in Perryville that government is not the answer to our problems. I'm a firm believer that families, charities, churches, nonprofits, and our business leaders are more capable of handling our civic problems in this county or town than government is. And given the opportunity on the county level, you can look for the same for me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm George Patchell. Live in Perryville, Maryland with Perryville, with my wife Lisa and my 2 small boys. Been a lifelong resident of Cecil County, and my family's been in the area for a number of years. I've decided to run after much thought because I just couldn't sit back any longer and watch what was going on in county government. The bottom line is this county's is at a crossroads between those who want to keep the status quo and those of us who want to usher in a new day of prosperity and economic growth. In order for our county to prosper, we must focus on economic and community development. In economic development, there are two approaches that need to be used to enhance our local economy. Business retention, keeping our business here in Cecil County, and business expansion by attracting new businesses to our back door. In order to accomplish these goals, we must focus on finishing the project of infrastructure on Route 40 and finish that which some of us have started, or some of those items that have been done, but the puzzle is not complete and we must finish that puzzle. We must provide tax incentives for businesses to come to our county and create a more business-friendly atmosphere here at our county government. Economic development is a concerted effort by a responsible governing body to influence, and I mean influence, the direction of the private sector for investments toward the opportunity of economic growth. Sustained economic growth can provide new jobs, higher incomes for citizens, and much-needed tax revenues to our government. Private sector investment is the engine of economic growth. The bottom line is, in order to increase our tax base, we must have businesses in our community and new businesses. Community development is a place where our community becomes a better place to live. 40% of our students are on free or reduced lunches. That's unacceptable. The bottom line is there is an epidemic in this county. It's the drug abuse problem. But that's only one of many. It's really a socio-economic issue that faces our community, where we have higher teen pregnancy, child abuse, teenage pregnancy. Those issues need to be resolved. They can only be resolved through economic development. Thank you.